Hey, welcome and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Survival, where I still cannot get my microphone to balance properly. Anyways, so, in the last episode, we worked on the clock tower a little bit more. What I've realized about the clock tower is that it still feels like it's missing something, but I think that it might look a little bit better just kind of filling in the area around it, because then we can figure out what exactly it needs to make this area pop more, what it needs to pop itself more. I want a lot more color over here, but I don't know which colors need to go on the clock tower and what needs to go on everything around it. I also generally just want to expand this area a little bit, and so what I've realized is the best course of action is to just pop in some trees. We're going to pop in some trees, and then we're going to, walk through the process a little bit, and then we're going to pop in some more, and we're just going to kind of talk about what I feel like they add to the Minecraft world, because I like them. I mean, obviously, if you've seen my Minecraft world, you can tell I love having custom trees up in here. Whenever I made this build, for an example, all I really wanted to do at the end was see what kind of trees I could get away with adding. And it's gotten to a point where I am designating certain areas of my world as blank spaces, just so I can put in trees, like right down there, and right through here. So, for this set of trees, I want to do some darker trees. I don't really want to go with the birch. I've done a lot of birch in the past. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get some spruce planks, slabs, stairs, fences. We're going to get some oak logs. Oh, I'm going to need to chop up some more. Okay. And mud bricks is going to be the weird one. Plus, I'm going to need some more leaves. Just imagine it. One day there's going to be trees lining every little bit of this walkway. It's really hard balancing convenience with looks, because I kind of feel like I need a path going through there, but I don't know, I think that would make the paths look a bit overpowering to the building ratio. I got a fun fact about trees for you, which is that they are actually made of wood. In fact, they are the most popular source of lumber. Shocking. It's probably not enough to last the whole project, but I think we've got enough for a little bit. I think the best place to start a tree is going to be on this corner here, because we're going to get, lots of space to grow. Right here. That's it, guys. That's it. See, to make a tree, you first have to understand a tree. What makes it tick exactly? Not just the ticks either. Those things are nasty. What I mean is, what makes a tree like this look good, in my opinion at least, and this one look bad? What makes this look better than just a normal, stereotypical tree grown from a sapling? See, when we have a Minecraft tree, just like this one, it's kind of random. Like, you got just logs thrown all over the place, and the leaves are kind of these big globs that just kind of jut out everywhere. And you got leaves it's just a block of leaves on a stick. You can tell what it is, but it doesn't really look that good. Now, to contrast, take a look at my sycamore tree. That's the one on the left, by the way. Sorry to break my 180-degree whirl, but look. So you see, the sycamore here has a lot of empty space, a lot of space where you can see the branches. That's because in real life, you're not going to see trees that are just big globs of leaves. You're going to have these little bits of leaves at the ends of the branches. Now look at the elm, and this is a tree I didn't do too great of a job on. But what you can see that makes it look more natural in a Minecraft tree is I have the leaves gathered at the ends of these branches, because they're not going to get any sunlight if they're back here. But taking a step back, it's also in, it's almost a circular shape. I'm going to ask you to take a look at this tree with me. So what you'll see is you've got a lot of just kind of empty branch space. But then at the ends, like I said, leaves. Over here too. And you can see this is some Spanish moss, but leaves. And really these are pines. But you get the point. It's growing at the ends of the branches, not all along. I think I'm really bad at explaining this. Essentially, what we want to do is get a natural shape for our tree and leave a lot of space in between, because that's how trees grow. They leave space in the middle because there's not a whole lot of sunlight that gets in the middle, so there's no use in growing leaves there. It's really important to understand what you're making in this game and the motivations behind why it is the way it is. Trees are a really good example. First step is going to be finding a reference image because, well, you need to know vaguely what your tree is going to look like. I usually try to find one of the tree in winter and one of it in, a leaved season. But it's really important that you get a specific type of tree for both images so that you're not mixing. You can, but it's easier to just stick to one in my experience. Now while I'm waiting for nighttime, I'm going to explain why I have the block selection I do, which is that I follow the BOO method, which is you find your log, and then you find some similar looking blocks. And so mud bricks are really the closest we can get to this brown, and we just need the walls, the stairs, and the fences. It's not block vomit, by the way, to use this or this against logs. There's a reason that we're using these blocks, and it's because they have similar color. I'm going for something like a pin oak here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to build up, and I can add a little bit of just something of a stump. Now what I'm seeing in a pin oak is that they go, they go up, and then they start to spread out. And so after I get to here, and these are relatively straight trees from what I'm seeing, we're going to just kind of slowly start to work our way out. And then maybe we start to get some walls. And, for now, that's where we'll leave our first branch. It's also very important to take a lot of steps back while doing this. And I feel like I should probably match this on the other side. So, we're not going to go exact, but, we want something similar. Now, when you are doing branches, remember that a tree is never going to get thicker. This bit at the base is going to be the thickest part of a tree, and it's only going to get thinner the further out it goes. I mean, there exists knots in trees, but just don't think about that. It's also important to keep in mind that branches are going to grow strongest when they're at a 90-degree angle. We're going to do a little bit, just a tad bit more. Coming off. I don't like that shape. What I'm realizing now is that I really want some fence gates. Something I think it's important to keep in mind is that walls and fences will not connect like this, but you can connect a wall to a fence gate, and then to a fence. You can also remember that a fence that's connected to a wall is going to be a little bit lower than a fence that's not. A fence connected to a fence gate is going to keep that height. If you want to connect a thinner fence to a wall, you're going to need to go up. And we'll get some wall action going on. So, how are we looking? We're looking. We've still got a good bit to go. But you can see we're starting to take something of a tree-like shape. That's why you always take a step back, just to see anything you need to add. Now, what I am noticing is I don't like the thickness that I've got going on here, and so I'm going to try to alleviate that a little bit. This is one I can't really tell with. It is just going to be a matter of seeing how it looks when it's done. But I do think I'm just about where I want to be with additives. I'm going to take this moment to say that I do not consider myself a master of making trees in Minecraft. I'm still really new to this. So, now it's time to start adding in leaves, and this is really the easiest bit. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the leaves that we've got. We've got birch, oak, and azalea. And what you can see is that birch is kind of the darkest leaf, and then you've got oak and azalea. We've also got flowering, but and so these are going to be acting as highlights for us, and these are going to be acting as shadows. Basically, we're doing what we did with the clock tower here. We're going to use the birch leaves to kind of create the impression that this is a darker area of the tree near the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're going to add them kind of circular shapes. And yeah, the shading's not going to be perfect because it is Minecraft. And at the end of the day, this is kind of impressionistic. I'm not seeing any immediate issues with these leaves, so that's a sign to me that we're doing something right. Now the shading, I will admit, is something I really am not good at right now, and am still actively learning. So it's not going to be too great, but I'm hoping it'll add a little bit of something. Now, whenever I'm doing this, I try to take one block at the very end to be the center, and then, you know, I've got my little circle shape. Pretty robotic. Wouldn't this side also be pretty dark? Because the shadow from the clock tower. I should mention that it's kind of late at night. I just saw the thunder rod and I thought it was Herobrine. I did not get much sleep last night. I took a nap earlier today too, and I had a dream about the cockroach dimension, so seriously, in my dream I was just getting attacked by cockroaches that were coming out of portals in my driveway, trying to kidnap me. Not running on too great of sleep is basically my point. So, how are we looking from down here? From down here, what I'm seeing is that is far too high. But otherwise, I kind of like that. From over here, because we're going to have paths eventually go over here. From over here, what I'm seeing is we've got a little bit of empty space. And so I might need to tweak with that one. And I don't like how far out that one goes. So I move this one a little bit more that way, and that one a little bit more that way. Oh, I've got entire... Okay, wait, we're gonna see what happens whenever I actually put the leaves on that branch. And another great thing about doing some really basic kind of shading is that it helps you differentiate between the parts of the tree. Which is both helpful for building, you know, seeing what needs some touch-ups, but also, you know, looking at it looks nicer. So how's that? That looks a lot nicer. I need to put something in there. Definitely still need to change that one up a bit. I guess, man. I guess. This is what a lot of making these trees comes down to. It's just kind of filling in the gaps. It's a bit cluttered overall, but I'm gonna kind of make this blend in. I like it. And then also afterwards I'm gonna go in and add lanterns and just kind of pretty things up. But that is the gist of how you make a tree. A quick little note I'm gonna add is, if you look at these two, I added a little bit of a divide. Now normally it wouldn't be this big, but something in real life is crown shyness, which is where the ends of trees, you know, their branches will not mix. There's going to be little lines left between the trees because the leaves of one tree aren't going to mix with the leaves of another tree. Just keep that in mind while you're making like forests. So I do want to take a minute and just kind of discuss custom trees in this game because, like, beyond the building of them, I do think there's something inherently really beautiful about them. I first discovered that I like making them a few months ago whenever I started doing them for this world, and then I just kind of fell in love with it, really. There's something I find really therapeutic about carefully placing every block of the tree. It's a very difficult thing to do to make it look good, but it's really rewarding too. And I think that's part of it, just the massive dopamine release after doing something right. But it also reminds me a bit of painting. The way that when you paint, you have to be really delicate and very careful. And in custom trees, it really is the same. You can't go out too far, you can't stay too close in with a branch. And the shading has also been, in times, kind of like painting again. Just kind of impressionistic. I find a lot of value in just what they add to your world because they make it feel so much more alive in a way that the Minecraft trees don't. The Minecraft trees are trees, but they don't really look natural. They don't look real and living. They just kind of look like a prop that's there for you. when you build a custom tree, you make something that looks really alive and really vivid. And it's something where the shapes just, something about it tickles my brain, you know? I have a lot of big plans for trees in this world, and I plan on pursuing them. This is just a tiny little bit of that. And I really wish that I had gotten around to different types of trees in this video, because I do really like making a birch tree in this game. Birch trees, I think, are the easiest to do, and they're the best looking. I struggle a lot with oaks and sycamores. That elm cost me so much trouble. Man, hated making that thing. But again, there is just something so inherently rewarding about getting it right after you struggle through it for so long. If I had to describe making trees in this game, I would call it a beautiful struggle. It's something that's not easy, but not particularly hard. And it's something that feels good to do, and with a good end product, because you never have to just leave a tree bad. You can always fix it, and it doesn't matter what your skill level is. There's always some way that you can make it look passable. You might have to cut it down a little bit from your original expectations until you're a little bit more practiced later on, but you can still make a good tree no matter what. Some of my very first custom trees are in this world, and they're the ones that I showed earlier in this video, and I am still proud of them. That northern red oak, which is the one in the corner of my pathway, that one is really important to me. I'm proud of it, which is another thing I really like about having custom trees in your Minecraft world. It's something that you can look back on after you've made and still think, man, that looks good. Nature's really hard to make in this game because you have to understand how nature works. And nature works in really mysterious ways. And so there is an aspect of luck and just hoping that you found a configuration that looks good. As a whole, I think more people need to try their hand at a custom tree. It's not something that's too difficult to get at least okay at. And again, it just adds so much to your world. Okay, so you can see that I've got all the trees in. Now, if you look at it from an angle like this, it's kind of just a bunch of green. Really, that's all you see. But what matters and what I'm going for is the just view from underneath. This one looks really good for that. This tree is one of my favorites in the world, I've decided. It's like, I know it's based on the pin oak, but it reminds me of a sycamore, you know? And then this was another pin oak. This one's more of a water oak, and this one's somewhere in between. I don't know. From beneath, though, I think they look pretty good. This one might get a bit of work off camera. So, it, again, just kind of a mess from back here, but I'm going to be covering it up from back here. There's going to be buildings all through here, and so the only time you're going to see it is when you're actually walking through and coming up here. I don't like this area, this bit. This bit. Bad branch. It looks a lot better, actually, just not having one there. I wonder, maybe we just kind of give this one a shave. Give it a bit of a haircut. I think that works a lot better, you know? I'm overall really happy with the feel of this. This is coming together. This area has been one that I've kind of avoided, but I've always wanted to do something here. And so now I can start covering it up and making things look good. There needs to be more color. That's gonna be my main thing. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but there needs to be a lot more color around here, and I need to light this up better. Maybe I hide them a little bit better, but I like that. And so we are feeling just kind of more magical through here. And again, I'd add some more color. I don't know if I'm gonna go with flowering azalea in these. I might just find color on the ground. Maybe I'll switch one of these for a birch, but I don't really know I want more birch over here. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Today's comment of the day comes from Hugo B Designer, which says, Just found this channel and it's so cool. Keep up the great work. You have an amazing world and build style. Thank you. That really means a lot. I'm trying out here. And it's a bit of an odd response to that because I've gotten a lot of really nice comments on the last 2 videos. Obviously, last one didn't do a comment of the day because no comments were in, because whenever I recorded it, the last episode hadn't actually been uploaded yet. And so I do want to thank you all for all the kind words that you're saying. It really does mean a lot to keep me going. You know? This is my place, and I just kind of mess around. And so bringing something to other people is always a really rewarding thing for me, I would say. But that is going to be all for me. So if you do want to see more, like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.